watching the News Channel 15 Highlight Zone with Glenn Marini.
What it's going to take is for each one of us to do our job.
I got to come out confident.
If you don't execute well, you're going to get throttled.
We just have so many weapons.
Got to come out and play Bulldog-style football, you know. That's what we do.
It's not nothing that Penn's going to do that's going to stop us from executing.
You know, on film, Carroll does everything well.
The best team's going to win, whoever executes more.
One player can't just try to be a superhero.
Well, next time there's a Friday night like this, Wayne TV will be investing in some scuba gear. I hope you've been wringing out the socks tonight because it was a wet week for the Highlight Zone. Despite it all, even Mother Nature couldn't dampen the spirit on the gridiron, and that was the case out at John Young Stadium in New Haven. It's where our Joe Whalen spent the entire evening and joins us now with more. Joe?
Yeah, Glenn, by the numbers, Carroll at New Haven looked like an offensive shootout. Both teams 3-0. The Chargers putting up almost 50 points a game. The Bulldogs right at 44 a night. Carroll ranked 12th in 5A, New Haven 15th in 4A. Carroll and New Haven, it's your Highlight Zone game of the week. Chargers won this one last year 17-14, but in the first, Carroll was trailing at 6-0, and then Chris Terry moving his offense, connects with Skylar Pifo, picks up big yardage here, ultimately pushed out of bounds before he could get to the end zone, but that's all right because later in the drive, Terry hits Ross Coble. It's a 13-yard strike as he just stretches across the goal line, finally gets the signal he wants. It's 7-6. But the very next play from scrimmage for New Haven, look out, Anthony Moore. They call that the truck stick if you're playing Madden, and then it's 70 yards to the house. Bulldogs reclaim the lead 13-7 at that point. Rain starts to come out a little bit here, though, and the umbrellas would pop up in the stands. In the second out, New Haven on the move again. Kevin Ware airs it out for Jordan Hogue, sticks the landing. 44-yard connection, and then on the very next play, just in case the Chargers D hadn't seen enough of this guy, it's Anthony Moore from 6, takes it in for his second score of the first half. Just before recess now, Carroll is threatening, but Hogue did it on offense, now he does it on defense. Makes the interception at the 1-yard line, and then it gets wild. We sped it up for you. Hogue tearing up the field here, finally taken down at the Chargers 33. The drive would stall. It was 20-7 at the half. The weather would get worse, though. A 20-minute lightning delay midway through the third when play resumes. Kevin Ware's pass is tipped. It's intercepted by Stallone Jovanovic, but moments later, more lightning. After a 40-minute delay, the game finally postponed with 5:20 to go in the third. New Haven leading at 20-7. Glenn, this one picks back up at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and we'll be there for what should be a very exciting conclusion.
The only game postponed tonight. We'll get to those in just a minute. Sticking with the NHC, Homestead out at Columbia City. Adam Neely, the star running back for the Eagles, out the rest of the season with a broken leg. We wish him well. First quarter, about some defense from the Sparties. Caleb Hackley gets it down to the 2-yard line on the interception. Grayson Baston, well, this kid would do the rest. One of his 3 touchdowns, 7-0 Homestead. And you know what? Sparties weren't done there. Still in the first. How about this? Isaac Griffith. He's committed to IU, and this kid ran almost all the way to Bloomington on this play. I like Ike. Big pickup of 39 yards right there, and it would help set up this. Matt Skronik done a great job filling in for Zach Terrell this year. Hits Seth Coate for a 21-yard touchdown, 14-zip. And we'd see more from that Homestead offense. They're averaging over 50 points a game so far this season. Frank Martin on the screen. He would get into the end zone. Homestead up 28-0 at the half. They go on to win 41-6. At East Noble, the Knights hosting DeKalb. East Noble looking to bounce back after a loss to Homestead. We pick it up here early in the first. Nick Weimer to Brandon Mabel, and Mabel finds that big blue end zone. It's a touchdown right there. 7-zip midway through the first. How about Mabel again? This kid had himself a night. 3 touchdowns. This one coming from 20 yards out. And East Noble up 14-zip, and they light off the old pyrotechnics up there in Kendallville. It was safe earlier in the day, so that's a good thing. DeKalb picking it up on defense here. Quentin Outhouse with the interception there. East Noble sidelines. Not a good place to be after that, but they would like this. Gray Fox, one of the best names in the business as the Fox, scampers in for a touchdown. 25 yards on that one. East Noble a big winner, 49-13. Final stop in the NHC, Belmont hosting Norwell. The Braves ranked 13th in this week's 3A state poll, and they were doing business. Second quarter, Jacob Bergman, how good is he? Finds Josh Hall. Nice catch. He's down at the 4-yard line, and it would set up this. Brad Bussey off to a great senior season. He had 2 touchdowns. That makes it 8-zip after the 2-point conversion. Later in the second, Pearson Harnish, you know he's got the good genes. He fires it to Cale Shum. Then he's down at the 4-yard line, and well, Norwell does the same thing. They cash in. How about Robbie Ritter on the handoff? But it's Norwell's only touchdown of the game. As we mentioned, Brad Bussey had both scores for Belmont, as Belmont a winner in this one, 14-6. Switching now to the SAC. After just 3 weeks, Snyder and Northside are the only undefeateds left in conference. The Panthers 3-0 overall and in the conference. They host Penn tomorrow night. The Redskins 2-0 in conference, 3-0 overall. And tonight, Northside was at Wayne. Early first quarter. How about the Generals getting things done? Austin Yarbo breaking free. And yeah, Robert Brown's team thinking upset. The Redskins down 7-zip after that Yarbo touchdown. But you know what? Northside's got one of the best quarterbacks in the SAC. I'm talking about the lefty, the senior, C.J. Jackson. He finds himself an open Damon Gaston for a touchdown. Extra point no good, though. 7-6, Wayne still up. How about a little more action right there? But I'll tell you what, this game postponed in the third quarter. 19-9, Northside is up on Wayne. They will pick it up tomorrow at 11 a.m. out at Wayne Stadium. So 19-9, Northside in the lead. Out at Spooler, Northrop looking for win number 1. You know, that's manly, the pink umbrella right there for Coach Kuhlman. Second quarter action, 10-3 Northrop. Dwangers Gerald McGee has a little trouble with the punt there. Why not? It was wet outside. But he makes up for it. The senior, watch him scamper all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Are you kidding me? The Saints feeling good. Look at the reaction there on the Northrop sideline. We're tied at 10-10. Northrop's D picking it up, though. Amani Ray. He'd have 2 interceptions in the second quarter alone. We sped it up there. He would return it deep into Saint territory, and it would be huge because Colin Brockhouse rolls out here. Spencer Coward right at the goal line for a touchdown. That made it 16-10 Northrop. And you know what? It was a huge score because that was your final score. Northrop over Dwenger 16-10. The first win by the Bruins over the Saints since 2003, back in the Matt Stinson era. Bishop Luers making the trip to Ohio to face Toledo Whitmer. Coach Matt Lindsay trying to psych up the team. Whitmer ranked 10th in the Midwest by Max Preps, and you know they're good. Here in the second, that's Noah Wazinski, the freshman quarterback for Luers, connecting on a first down to Channing Williams. Later on that drive, Sean Caton from 37 yards out in the weather, not too shabby at all. That would tie it at 3. That's good news because it's a tough field goal in high school. It's bad news because it's Luers' only score of the game. Here, Kendrick Mullen with a pick in the end zone. But Luers was losing 10-3 at half, and they would lose this one by a final of 20-3. Final stop in the SAC is at Zollner Stadium. Concordia looking for back-to-back wins. Southside looking for that first win of the season. Pick it up in the first. It's Aaron Thomas on South's first drive from 16 yards out. And it's 7-zip Archers. And the Southside defense says if the offense can do it, hey, we can do our part too. Keontae Green with the sack for the men in green. And things not looking up for Tim Manigal's team. However, South would do it again with the offense. It's a 1-yard touchdown there for the Archers. There's Coach Manigal, 14-zip South. Concordia's Brendan Williams, though, breaks this one. Long touchdown, 60 yards right here. But this game is still going on. They've had 3 weather delays. Just talked to Tim Burton, Southside's AD. They're still playing this thing. It's 20-12 Southside in the third quarter. Going to be a late night out there at Zollner Stadium. Well, coming up, we're going to talk about the NECC. That includes a huge contest for Churubusco as they went up to Eastside to battle Mike Eschba and the Blazers. Plus, we're going to run through the ACAC games. We got all that action coming up, plus much, much more in the Highlight Zone.
University of Notre Dame tight end. You're watching News Channel 15 Highlight Zone.